Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, j-fallon, and this is the slippery slope. So, one of the roles that I had when I was in the Queensland Police Service, I was actually seconded to the Crime and Corruption Commission, and one of the roles that I had working within the surveillance unit that I was with, I was also the RPAS pilot, the remote, uh, so a drone pilot, basically. So I am licensed to fly up to the 600, so one of the biggest systems that they have, and I always liked having. I love doing it. It's very interesting. It's a bit of added responsibility, and it was really interesting to see what else you could do. Um, and it made surveillance itself, obviously, other than doing the typical, the normal kind of covert unit surveillance that we were doing, and then having that extra aspect with the drones, mate, it just really broadened things and made things a bit more interesting. I thought, especially after you've been doing it for a few years, you do your usual, takeoffs, put downs, and put down pickups and put downs. It gets a bit monotonous, and then it was always good to liven things up a bit with the RPAS system anyway. But it always amazed me with the units that we utilized, just the payload that they are able to carry. I always thought, mate, it's amazing. We were able to do this. How much more other organizations able to do? Like some of the ones that they'd have in the States or China and this. So I'm reading this story. I'm a little excited. I think this story is a bit scary, but at the same time, it's kind of exciting to see where tech's going. And you think, mate, warfare. Not that I want war or anything like that, but warfare itself is going to be interesting in the very, very near future, I think. So let's check out this story anyway. Silent death from the sky. China's bird-like drones now strike targets without warning or detection anywhere. It's groundbreaking reveal at the CMITE 2025 Expo. China has introduced uh, ornithopter ornithopter drones that mimic the flight of birds, potentially revolutionizing military surveillance and reconnaissance operations. So when I was in the police, when I was at the Triple C, that's what you used it for. We used our RPAS systems for reconnaissance. Especially, if something, you had an operation coming up ahead of time, and you wanted to check out and make sure that you know, all the areas of egress were covered and this kind of thing. So you had, and you knew exactly what was going on. So you needed as much intelligence as possible. So you'd bring put the RPAS up and check it all out, get your photos and whatever video. But also with just general surveillance, if you want to keep your distance, you're able to zoom in and get a license, get a rego, from a couple of kilometers away. So if you're really trying to keep your distance when you're doing undertaking surveillance operations, and you want to try and keep your men out of it, so you want to try and keep all your cars undercover, as covert for as long as possible. It's a good way of keeping track of things, especially in remote areas. Um, there's a picture here of, I don't know if that's what they actually look like, but these things. Anyway, so in a nutshell, ornithopter drones replicate bird flight, achieving near perfect biomimicry for stealth in military operations. The Magpie variant is lightweight and equipped with a micro camera, ideal for urban reconnaissance missions. That's the one thing that gives everything away with when you're using your drones out there. If you bring them down too low, or you even when you take them up really high, up to their limits. In Australia, it's 120 meters there, but even when you're taking them up to their limits, you can still hear them if you're not positioning them there right, and you need to position them in the right direction so you can block their view and that from the ground. But you can always hear them if you really listen out for them. So that's mate, that's going to make things very different. Larger drones like the Eagle type UAV can carry precision guided munitions. Far out. Expanding combat capabilities. The Expo also introduced the K-25 remote weapon station to counter enemy drones with high accuracy. Warfare is just going to be drones in the sea. It's just going to be a group of young people sitting around in front of a computer screen, or if not that, it'll just be AI running the whole thing. In the rapidly advancing field of military technology, China has taken a significant leap forward with its latest innovation unveiled at the 10th China, or in Beijing, Military Intelligence Technology Expo. That's the CMITE 2025. This year's expo showcased an array of unmanned aerial vehicles, commonly known as drones, which promise to revolutionize modern warfare. Among these, the ornithopter bird mimicking drone stood out for their unique ability to replicate the wing flapping flight dynamics of actual birds. Does anyone remember? I mean, I remember a couple of years ago looking at there was that there was that theory getting around that, birds weren't real. They were all just surveillance. They were all just these surveillance cameras that the government were utilizing to get around and spy on everyone. Anyway, so designed for reconnaissance, infiltration, and direct engagement, these drones offer a new edge of invisibility in aerial warfare, challenging traditional detection systems and changing the landscape of military operations. So one of the most intriguing developments at CMITE 2025 was the introduction of small magpie drones. Unlike traditional rotary or fixed wing UAVs, these ornithopter achieve near perfect biomimicry, replicating the wing flapping flight dynamics of birds. This innovative design makes them visually indistinguishable from actual fauna, enabling them to evade detection not only by human observers but also by most conventional radar systems. Ooh. The magpie variant is particularly noteworthy, weighing just 90 grams. It is small enough to be hand launched, yet it incorporates a micro camera capable of delivering live surveillance feeds. Its compact size and tactically significant endurance makes it ideal for urban reconnaissance and forward observation missions where remaining unnoticed is critical. These micro drones are designed to be deployed in swarm configurations, saturating enemy surveillance and providing persistent situational awareness. Talks here about manta drones are coming as well. Manta ray drones, sorry. Beyond the small magpie drones, larger models such as the Seagull, Hawk, and Eagle variants offer increased capabilities. The Eagle type UAV, for instance, weighs approximately 8 pounds and boasts a wingspan of over 6 feet. It can sustain flight for 40 minutes. That is quite a long time for a drone within a 3.7 to 5 mile operational radius. That is huge. Crucially, it can carry offensive ordnance, including precision guided micro munitions, thus enhancing its role in direct combat scenarios. People, things are changing big time. The Hummingbird coaxial drone represents another significant advancement. This compact system can take off at a standard weight of 22 pounds and supports up to 7-pound payload. It can be armed with mortar shells, and its modular design allows for easy deployment in swarm tactics. A single infantry soldier can carry multiple units, empowering platoon-level forces to project aerial lethality without relying on external air support. Made from lightweight, strong rubber materials, these ornithopters are reusable, easy to maintain, and customizable to blend in with local bird species. Countering drones. So as as these innovative drones enter the battlefield, the need for effective countermeasures become paramount. China also unveiled solutions to combat enemy drones, such as the Cave-25 remote weapon station. This automated turret can be mounted on ground or vehicle platforms and utilizes intelligent fire control algorithms for target tracking and engagement. Armed with a 5.8mm rifle, the K-25 demonstrated a 90% hit probability against small UAVs at distances up to 656 feet. Capable of operating remotely via secure links, it minimizes operator exposure while enabling deployment in forward positions as part of a decentralized defense grid. Do you get how huge this is? This is amazing. This is changing warfare, modern warfare, before our eyes. Things will never be the same. Look, I mean, Australia's been using, the really small drones. I think they were manufactured in Europe. I think they might come from Denmark. Quite expensive for such a small drone, but obviously for reconnaissance. Can I talk? Yeah. So obviously for reconnaissance and that, they're really quite good. But again, it's the issues of, you can see it doesn't look like a bird from a distance and that, but when it comes up close, it's a bit different. You can still see that it's not actually a bird, and I'm not sure about the noise, what kind of noise they make. But this, mate, this is even leaps and bounds ahead of that, and being able to actually have munitions on board and attack at the same time, and being able to carry, one officer being able to carry these and project firepower from the air. That's just amazing. This is going to change warfare, definitely. I think Australia needs to be getting ready to counter these kinds of measures that could be easily deployed. It just makes me laugh that all the conspiracy theories, the wild, crazy. I used to read these things just because it seemed so outlandish. But you had the conspiracy theories that birds were actually surveillance drones. And now look, the Chinese have actually made them. So, conspiracy theories coming to life. It's interesting to see the way warfare is going. We need to be careful of what China's doing and what they're actually going to able to deploy against us. Unfortunately, I think that our leadership have their heads buried in the sand. They're too interested. They're too focused on all the money that we're able to make from China. I believe that they have been lulled into this false sense of safety from China. Anyway, that's all just my opinion. I just think it's very interesting to read where we're going and see how this is going to be utilized within modern warfare. Interesting times. My name's j-fallon. Please like, share, subscribe, and check out my music if you do have a chance. Goes under j-fallon. The song that is at the start of this is called Bring Me Down. Check it out. My name is j-fallon. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more demons to be done. And nothing's gonna just focus on me goal. And nothing's gonna stop me now. And nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Got my